princesses and princes. I'm Magnolia, and today we're talking about how to belly dance with veil. So I'm going to be showing you 5 tips that will help you with your veil belly dance performances. Now before we jump into that, I just wanted to talk really quickly about my brand new hip scarves, which are made in Turkey. You can buy one of these custom hip scarves down in the link below, and you can watch a commercial with more information on these hip scarves right up here. Okay, so tip number 1 for belly dancing with veil is to know your types of veil fabrics and shapes. So there are many types of veils that you can use for your performances, and it's important that you practice and study all those variations. So you can buy silk or chiffon, mainly those 2 fabrics are used, and they come in a variety of weights as well. This, for instance, is a rectangular silk veil, and you can see how this one moves. Like so, where the silk floats and makes a circle. Secondly, you have silk half circle veils. So this one you can see is actually cut into half of a circle shape as opposed to the rectangular shape. And this one again has that same nice flow, but because it's a half circle veil, the flow is a little cut off and the shapes are different. Next, we have our chiffon fabric, and chiffon is a very heavy fabric, so it does have a lot of good weight to it, which changes the way that it flows. Next, we have a half circle chiffon veil. So again, same concept as the half circle silk. This is made with chiffon fabric. So play around with all of those so you can determine the type that you want to use for your specific performance. Also, it helps your veil skills for any type of veil if you study all of the types. It makes your skills stronger across the board. All right, tip number 2 for belly dancing with veil is try to add a rolled hem, sequined hem, or some sort of edge to your veils to assist you with tricks and hand transitions. So for instance, this veil has a sequined edge, which you can see makes it very easy for my fingers to feel where the edge of the veil is. So if I need to grab one side with my other hand, I can find that edge very easily because I can feel the sequins on it. Now here's an example of another hem. So you can see the hem here. It's much smaller, but you can still feel the difference on your fingers because it's silk that's been rolled over a couple of times. So again, you can really catch that edge with your fingertips when you're able to feel it. Tip number 3 is to not fight where your veil wants to go. So this is a chiffon veil, as I mentioned previously, and this one has a lot of good weight to it. So gravity is on its side, and it wants to drop, and it wants to fling, and it wants to have a lot of power behind it. So I don't fight it when this veil wants to go low to the ground, or when I can yank its weight around. I don't fight it, because that's its natural behavior. As opposed to the silk veil, whose natural behavior is going to be to want to stay lifted and flowing. You can see how easy it is for me to create air and wind under this veil. But as a consequence of that, the veil is a little harder to control its directions. So if you don't fight that, you'll be able to know exactly where it wants to go and use that to your advantage. Tip number 4 I have for you is to be creative with the veils. Don't get stuck doing the same moves that you see over and over again. Try to create some of your own and play with the shape that the veils can create. Remember, you can tuck veils into your costume and create nice, beautiful wraps if you want. It doesn't always have to be an open veil. It can be closed to create really nice silhouettes and shapes. Remember, you can also throw your veil and toss it. And finally, tip number 5. I could give you a million more tips, but I wanted to keep this brief and highlight tips that you don't probably normally hear. But tip number 5 is to get your veils custom dyed to match your costumes if you're doing a very important performance. So when your veils are custom dyed to match your costumes, it makes the whole appearance cohesive, and it helps with your storytelling as well as a performer. This is an example of a veil that I had custom dyed. So you can see here it's a gradient from a light pink down to a more salmon-y, vibrant pink. And I'll show you a picture here of what costume I matched that to. Remember that a veil is an extension of you when you're on stage with it. Props, you must think of them as a part of you, as your dance partner. So with that in mind, be sure, if you can, to get them custom dyed to match your costumes. Please remember to subscribe for more lessons and performances and other shenanigans. We like to do variety content on this channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content. Thanks for watching.